Hey everybody, welcome back to Coding Jitsu channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I finally made my move from vscode to Neovim with Lazyvim installed. Now, this isn't my first attempt. Throughout my career, I've actually tried to move from vscode to Vim or Neovim multiple times, and every single time I gave up. The learning curve was just too high for me. There were so many plugins to choose from, so many configurations, and every time I watched a YouTube video, every single person had a different setup. It was truly overwhelming. It didn't feel worthwhile to spend so much time learning a terminal editor that wouldn't give me as many options as VS Code or any other editor. So I tried, I gave up, tried again, gave up again. That was a cycle, so it's worth telling you why did I really decide to move. The main reason comes down to two things. Number one, VS Code is Chromium based. That means it uses a lot of your system resource and it's slower, especially if you're working on a bigger project and you have a lot of extension installed. You'll notice it. Autocomplete is slow, boot up is slow, everything just feels a bit heavier and it will feel laggy. The second reason, and this is the bigger one for me, I love typing on the keyboard for pretty much everything. I hate reaching out for mouse, which I think is also ergonomically sound. I already use shortcuts in VS Code all the time, and that actually boosted my performance quite a bit. But when I tried Vim motions, it was a no-brainer. If you know the motions and how to use those shortcuts, you can really code a lot faster. I also tried Editor. It's newer. It's fast, it's lightweight, and it's getting a lot of hype. But for me, it still didn't give me the full keyboard-centric experience I was looking for. On top of that, I have an Intel-based Mac, and on Intel-based Mac, Editor actually performed worse than Visual Studio Code. So even though it's a great editor, but it wasn't quite what I wanted. So that's when I circled back to Neovim. Now, I also want to mention Lazyvim. I actually used LazyGit first, which has the same author as Lazyvim, so I got to know the Lazy family. Lazyvim is a distro of Neovim. Basically, it comes with lots of themes and lots of plugins pre-configured. Now, Lazyvim isn't the only distro out there. There's Kickstart, there's Astrovim, multiple others. But Lazyvim allows me to customize on top of what they already have, so that's what I chose. And because I use LazyGit as well, they both work together hand in hand pretty well. Let me show you my terminal. As you can see here, it looks pretty similar to any editor out there. So here, the first thing would be, it comes by default, it's called which key. In Vim world, leader key. In Lazyvim, by default, it is going to be your space. So space, that's going to be a leader key. If you press space, it's going to open up this which key pop-up that will basically tell you what you can do. So for example, E, you can double tap escape to get rid of that. You can press leader and press E, that would toggle between your Explorer on the sidebar here. And you can see there are other options out there as well. Now let me show you some other features really quickly, just to give you like some of the basics. You can move from file to file by pressing space, again space, so double space. It will open up your files and you can basically go, let's say I will go member capacity row. Let me open another one. And if you press Control and press N so that you can navigate with J and K, J is down and K is up. Let me go ahead and enter, and then it will open up your member capacity. Now you can see here at the very top, it looks like a tab. So if you're coming from Visual Studio Code editor or GUI editor, it will feel like they are tabs, but in terminal, these are actually buffers. So you can have as many buffers as you want. They're not actually tab. And take a look at this. Because I'm using Lazyvim, it actually mimics editor quite a lot. So you still can work with your mouse. So if I go here and close this, I can with my mouse. But there are other ways I can close. Let's say I can move from buffer to buffer just by pressing Shift, and H is going to be your left. So I can go left, and L is going to be my right. So let's say I'm on my workspace.tsx right now, and I want to close every other buffer. So I'm going to press the leader key, which is space key by default, which will open up my which key. And because I want to interact with buffer, I want to close every other buffer right now, I am going to press B. It will give me all the option for buffer. And there is something that I can do right here. If I press O, delete other buffers, so I can just press O. As you can see, it's now only on the file that I'm currently working, and every other buffer is gone. Now, I also can global search for any particular keyword. I can do a leader key again, space S plus G, pull up this grep. So I can basically do, let's say, work workspace like so, and then it's going to pull up all these things that will allow me to look where this workspace keyword appears. And as you can see here, right hand side, it actually gives you a preview of that particular file as well. If you want to get out of this pop-up, all you have to do is press escape twice. So just to give you what you can do, this actually mimics an editor quite a lot, and you can see that I am doing everything with my keys and my key shortcuts. I can also like search. If I do / it's open up a search here, which let's say if I do right here, you can see that it actually highlights them. I can enter them, and then by pressing N, I can move all the instance of that search keyword. I can press escape to get out of that. So I don't see any reason for me to go back to Visual Studio Code at all. It gives me pretty much everything I need: performance, code writing speed, and absolutely I can do everything without leaving the terminal. As you can see here, I have another tab open in my terminal. It is actually looking at the config. I'm going to show you in a bit. And there's another tab open here. Here I can, let's say, do npm run the server to run my application here. So I don't have to leave my terminal at all. Now, let me talk to you about a couple of prerequisites you must have before you jump into Neovim. I wish I knew this before I started. And I also want to mention, don't feel pressured. A lot of people make it feel like Neovim is the next best thing, and if you're not using it, you're not a real programmer, and blah, 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 blah. That's just one person's opinion. I don't want to give you that version of this either. What I will tell you though, there is definitely some performance gain you're going to get from Neovim, but there are also some prerequisites, and if that's your thing, you should move. But if you're happy with VS Code, your extensions, your setup, and you don't feel like moving, then absolutely don't even think about it. Don't bother. Just do whatever works best for you. Now, a couple of prerequisites that are definitely going to help you adopt Neovim faster. First, can you touch type? I mean, can you type without looking at your keyboard? I used to think I was fast, but I was still glancing down all the time. When I finally learned to touch type properly, it was a game changer. I could keep my eyes on the screen, no more breaking flow, just typing and coding without interruption. So here's my first recommendation for you guys. If you're not touch typing yet, this needs to happen first. I'll give you 2 very good resources to speed up this process. Resource number 1 is going to be edclub.com, also known as Typing Club. You can search, and then I think this particular resource also has connection with schools. So schools are actually using this website for students to learn touch typing. So it's pretty good. It's actually going to give you the basics. At first, it's going to be a little frustrating because you are actually retraining your fingers, your muscle memories. So just stick with it and go through the entire section. And then I will tell you, this is not only going to help code faster, even if you're not a programmer. Anytime you work with the keyboard, maybe writing meeting notes, maybe presenting anywhere, if you're using a keyboard, this will definitely a skill that's going to help you a lot. So I highly recommend Typing Club. Go check this out. And the second resource is going to be Monkey Type. Everybody knows about this one. This is just to practice. So once you finish all this, I would recommend just go to Monkey Type and just keep practicing every day for a couple of hours or half an hour or however you want to do it, and see if you actually improved your speed or not. All right. That's my first prerequisite for you guys. Now, the second one is going to be, let me go ahead and open up this tab here. I'm going to go to my root directory. And here, I'm going to write vimtutor. Now, Vim comes by default with your terminal if you're using Mac, and I believe it's also in Linux. It doesn't come with your Windows terminal unless you are using Linux system on your Windows with WSL. You can just write vimtutor and enter, and it actually gives you very interactive lessons. Just going through this, it will take maybe a couple of hours and you will know all the basics motions. You'll know how to move around, how to delete words, how to change inside parentheses, how to yank and paste. Yank means copy in Vim world. Once you know this, Neovim becomes a completely different experience. And here's another thing. Let me go ahead here. AI inside Neovim. So if you like to work with AI or you want to have Copilot, then you can do something like this. I can press : that will give me this option. I can go to Lazy Extras here. So you see, if you go to Lazy Extras, you take a look that there are some plugins that you can add. So AI Copilot, if you use GitHub Copilot, you can do that. There's some other AI. So for an example, right now, plugins here, AI.avant. I don't know if it's Avante. This particular plugin actually will make your Lazyvim look like pretty much Cursor. So if you use Cursor, you can use that. You can use Cloud Code as well. So the AI plugins are here for you if you want to use that. I don't use AI inside my code editor. I like to just talk to a chat-based coding agent and then work there. But if you want, you have that option as well, which is huge. So if you're someone who uses AI to code, Neovim has you covered. And if you ever got stuck, AI is there to help you. So let me show you some of the customization I made. So as you can see here, so let me get rid of this. You can just :q exclamation that will just get rid of the file for you and exit you out and will not save any edits that you made. So here I will go to this .config/nvim file. I'm going to open this one here and take a look. This is what it looks like. You have your Lua files. Here you can add your configs. One customization I made here is I just put this and I just remap. So when I am insert mode, when I'm actually typing something, I want JK to act as escape. So escape key is like at the top left corner, so it's hard to reach there. So when I'm in insert mode, I can just press JK and that will act as escape. So that's the one customization I made. As you can see here, it's very easy to do so. I can just press Control and H and that would take my cursor to the Explorer. And then right here, you can see that I can go to plugins. And here, another customization I did, I created this file, icons.lua, and here I just added an icon. If you take a look, my Explorer here, you see that my JSX and TSX files actually has a solid icon. By default, it actually takes React icon because, you know, JSX is from React, but this is a solid start code base. So I just map that icon to a solid icon. Like so. It just reminded me that I did not show you one more thing. You can also open up pen. So you can do like which key and then shift pipe. That will actually open a pen here horizontally. And then if you're here, you can also press Control and go from this to pan if you want. And then if you want to get rid of this or get out of this pan or close this, all you have to do is colon and then Q. That would get rid of that pen as well. So yeah, that's my spiel and I'm liking it. I'm quite liking it, to be very honest with you. If you guys want to install this, you can just go to lazyvim.org right here. And it has a nice documentation. You would have to have Neovim. If you're on Mac like me, you can just do brew install Neovim, which will install Neovim for you. And then you would need a nerd font. You can just click on here and then go install a nerd font in your system. LazyGit is going to be optional. And I would say install this too. FZF Lua. I haven't installed that one. I only installed grep and FD. This is enough for me. If you want to use FZF, go for it. And then obviously this terminal. I have iTerm2. You can use any other terminal. If you're, like I said, M based, you can use Ghosty. I think is pretty good. Alacrity, actually, what I'm going to recommend if you're not using iTerm2. I haven't really have any issues with the iTerm2 with my Intel-based Mac, so I'm going to keep that. So once you have all this requirement, go to installation. You can see this video as well. It shows how to go about navigate what are the features that Lazyvim has. The configuration he shows changed a lot, so it's going to be a little bit different as of right now. So if I go to installation, you can see that you have your Windows installation, Docker installation, and of course Linux or Mac OS installation. This one, I didn't need to have this because the first time I actually installed Neovim, I installed Lazyvim. I didn't really have any type of custom configuration before, so I didn't have to do this, but they recommend if you used Vim before and you have a certain configuration already saved on your machine, you can do this to just back it up, right? And then clone the transfer here. This config nvm.git actually comes with this clone, so you can go ahead and get rid of that. And once you open nvim, it's automatically going to install all your Lazyvim configuration and you'll be able to use it right away. Recommended is to just do : and use lazy health to see is everything's good or not. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think. Are you happy with your editor? Are you using Neovim already? What's the deal there? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your experience. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.